Hey, Diane DeWald with CreativeCatCrafts.com. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'm going to pull you out just a little bit because that is awfully close. We're utilizing a trivet to create a background. And this is in response to a monthly challenge that Gina K Designs does with her Facebook group. The month of July, it's use a household item to create a card. She doesn't say exactly how. I've seen paper towels and Q-tips and bottle scrub brushes and wax paper. And I was in here doing some heat embossing in my studio, and I use these little trivets to put whatever I'm melting the embossing powder on. I put it on this because this is silicone, and I thought, oh, this would make a cool background. So I have used this before. So we're going to use this Hey Honey stamp set. This was an incentive stamp that Gina K had summer of 25, I believe. I've done a video already using Hey Honey, but I thought it appropriate because this trivet, this is a honeycomb pattern, and I thought, okay, got to pull the bee out. In addition, I am using Master Layouts 1, these two large rectangles. They are my favorite. And then I think it's this solid sentiment strip here. I want to use this thank you from Spring Things by Gina K Designs, and I'm going to show you how to cut this down to fit perfectly this thank you here. So let's get this cleared up. We'll do our background, and then we'll start getting our bees together, and we'll put this card together. If you don't have the master layouts, I will throw the dimensions for this on a little bit later in the video, but until then, sit tight. Okay, I've already cut my panels, and why don't I bring in all of my cardstock? So my white cardstock is from Cut Cardstock, and I'll have everything linked down below in the video description. I get my card bases, and you can see that they're already scored. This is A2 sized, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then the finished size is 4.25 by 5.5. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. It's 110 pound. Then I grabbed 80-pound Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and I cut that with Master Layout 1. And this is Charcoal Brown from Gina K Designs, and it is also cut from Master Layout 1. And here is the, over here in the corner, the dimensions. If you don't have this Master Layouts 1, the white is the 3 3/4 by 5, and the brown is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So while you're copying that down, I've just grabbed a little bit of copy paper. I have my trivet that we're going to use, and I moved this out of the way. And I'm just going to put this, one of these white card bases right here. Not card bases, card panels. And let me go ahead and shrink that down. And I'm going to use Gina K Designs Kraft ink. And all I'm doing is, let me put this over here. This is a one and done. So I'm just going to ink this up as best I can. It's really hard to see it on the trivet, even though it's white. And get this out of the way, and I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to lay that right down like that, and we're going to see what we get. I'm trying not to move the trivet, but at the same time I'm trying to get good impression, and voila, we have some honeycomb. And you see there's a couple places that got a little heavy-handed, but that's okay. And then this whole line here, it didn't show up, but that's okay. Honeycombs are not, if you believe it or not, if you open up a beehive, honeycombs are not per perfectly symmetrical with these little hexagons. Here, looking for the spray bottle. I want to spray this down and put this away because we are not done with this. I do want to do one more thing. So this is my inside panel, and I always like to do something fun with the inside. So I'm just going to grab, got some fuzz there. I'm just going to do that and take this, kind of just lay it a little bit there in the corner, and that's our inside panel. Now I can clean this and put this away. And I may even go run this through my dishwasher just to make sure I have all that ink off of there. But I won't do that while I have you on video. I'll just throw that off to the side. We don't need this any longer. And this is just foam. And anytime I'm using a block or a trivet, I like to have a surface that has a little bit of give. That allows your stamp or that trivet to kind of soak into or mush into the background. So you get some fairly decent impression. I'm done with it, so I'm going to put it off to the side with all my other tools. We are done with the Kraft, and then I'm going to grab my sweet corn from Gina K Designs and my yellow blending brush. I'm not sure what I had on this last. It looks like wild dandelion, but I want to ink this up a little bit and very light start off and then start laying the color. And then I'm going to turn it around, add a little more ink. I'll clean my glass mat here in just a moment. There we go. That's very nice. I like that. I just want a little color to it, just to get a little oomph. And let me move this out of the way. Get that yellow off the mat. And we could actually make sure this is dry. We can go ahead and glue our panels together. This is a relatively fast card to put together, at least I'm hoping it is. I've not done a test run of this, so what you see is what you get. I have no idea how this is going to turn out look-wise. I have an idea in my head, but like I said, I have not done an actual card outside of my Hey Honey from last summer. But I like the idea of the honeycomb from the Trivet. I'm just going to fold that over. Burnish that down. We're going to get this on the inside. And we're actually going to put that honeycomb in. Why not, right? I like that. That's really cool. I always like to do something fun on the inside. Then I'm just going to grab a little bit of this minty tape, grab whatever washi tape. I like to make sure my card stays closed while I'm working on it. There, and I'm going to get an acrylic block, put that up at the top, get that pressed down, and I need my Misti. This is, I think, Gina K's background number 2. It's not a sticky mat, it's a background stamp, and it's gone, one side got the pattern and on the other side it's flat, and you can use it as a grip mat, which is wonderful. So let me grab our Hey Honey, and I'm just going to do this guy up. I'm doing the 2 bees and the beehive, and we're going to stamp these. I've already got everything die cut, and I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo black ink. And this first impression, I don't care if it's perfect, because I'm using my favorite trick, which is I save the outline, and I'm using 1/2 inch minty tape. Use whatever washi tape, Masking Magic. I like, and I've said it before, and you're probably tired of hearing me say it. Oh, I didn't realize I still had that up there. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what I unclicked before. Interesting. I wonder what disappeared. But I like to put a little bit of low-tack tape in here so it will keep my die cut inside the outline, or the the negative space. And the reason I do that is if your stamps pick up your die cut, sometimes they do shift a little. I need to cut that off a little bit. There. And this is, I like to use the Delicate Surface painter's tape. It's made by Frog. Just my preference. And where are my bees? Yep. I'm going to cut this side down too. Just making sure everything plays nicely in here. And I probably should have cut this out of a different color so that you could see it. I'm just lining it up so that die cut is like right smack in the middle. And then this guy, and we'll cut this off a little bit at the top. This is the part that takes the longest, I swear. Okay, trying to get this guy lined up. His little feet don't want to cooperate. There. Okay, they're all lined up. Okay, let's get some of this out of the way. You don't need to see some of this. And I'm going to go ahead and get that stem in there. Get these cute little bees all lined up. These are really cute. I did not think I was going to like this set, and I do. And my Misti door is definitely warped. Okay, I want to rinse that off, pop those out. I'm going to do another set It looks like I re-inked my Memento Tuxedo Black, and I think it might have a little bit too much ink in it. Hang on. So I went ahead and grabbed a bunch of paper towels and then just squeezed it, and hopefully that'll take care of excess ink. Yeah, that looks like it. The ink pad was behaving like it was super dry the other day. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it definitely had too much ink in it. But it was acting like it was super dry. So I wanted to make sure this guy, we'll do that one more time. That's much better. Yep. Yes, I like that. And just in case, because you never know when alcohol ink, I'm going to use some alcohol markers to color these. You just never know. If the ink could run. So I'm going to have a backup. And who knows, maybe I'll make two. I'm going to make you watch me just stamp out these bees one more time. Because I just think they're just so cute. Yep, they are just adorable. And get that little guy done one more time. Okay, let me clean this off. Pull those out. And we'll get these colored. I'm having a problem I'm having a problem talking tonight. So I'm working on my pronunciation of foliage. I have lived all over the United States, and you would not believe the different areas of the country have different pronunciation for words. So I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, and I went to, at the time, Washington High School. I know it's Washington, but growing up, it was Washington. So I'm working on it. So my Ohuhu markers, I am using from the new numbering system, Y09. And I'm going to use not the brush, but I'm going to use the nib. Get this little guy all colored in. I'm going to try there. I don't know if the bee is supposed to be completely yellow, but I'm just coloring the whole darn thing in. Because you know, why not? Flip them around. I think when I did my original Hey Honey, I did Wink Estella with the wings, and I'm not doing that tonight. I just want to see the color of these two. Okay. Yep. No, this wasn't completely centered. Oh well. The darker of the two, oops, I need the brush, is E58. And I'm going to try to do some shading here. We'll see if it works. I am terrible at it. So like I said, we'll see if it works. But yes, I did not have that die cut lined up at all. Yeah, I'm terrible at this. Just practice, that's all it takes, right? Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm trying to concentrate. And I'm going outside the lines and all of that. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get this time around. It just is what it is. Okay, let's bring our, oh, before I do that, I'm going to pull you back out. I got to do the sentiment. So let me grab another. So I have multiple Misties. I think this is background 1. And just need that. And from Master Layout 18, and I did not cut this ahead of time. This is the die I'm using, and I'm going to go ahead and go cut that out. I'll be right back. And I did say I was going to use this thank you from Spring Things. So let me go ahead and grab that. Sorry if I got my head in the way. There's some residue or something on that. So I just used Gina stamp cleaner because I think I had used, oops, the VersaFine Claire on it the last time. And I just want to make sure this is dry. And I'm going to use the Memento Tuxedo Black. And I did not keep the negative, which I need. Let's see if I can do a better job lining this one up. A little bit further down rather than at the end. Okay, and let me get some of that painter tape. And let's move you in just a smidge. I didn't, again, use a different color, but I'm going to line up with one end where I want it to be. There, that might help. So I'm going to line it up there, and I want it straight. as I can get it. Because, yes, obviously with this, I didn't line that up very well. And I'm going to go ahead and stick the die cut in there. And let's get this thank you all inked up. And this is going to be several inkings. The H didn't look good. And I'm just kissing. I just see where. Oh, I'm going to pause you. I just got ink all over this. I must have had a cat hair float down and sit on the U, which is totally possible. My cats have been in here. Okay, I'm just going to make sure and wipe in between. I'm hoping that's not a fingerprint. I'm having a time tonight. Nope. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this. It's Memento Tuxedo Black, so it should, whoops, it should dry fairly quickly. Whoops. Come on, camera, focus, focus, there we go. So let me grab out my cutting mat or cutting plates, and I want minty tape. And I'm going to put this in here to where the edges are inside. And then I'm going to move it down to where that end matches up perfectly with where I want it. And I'm just going to make sure the die does not slide side to side. And that is perfect. That's perfect. So I'm going to go cut this. I'll be right back. And that's how you can cut a die down to size. Isn't that, it looks like that die was perfectly made for this. And you basically line the die up in the die cut to where you want it and run it through again. Now, if you've got stitching on the outside of your die, try to have that stitching fall within the die cut. Otherwise, you're going to get some wonky looking stitching. I had that happen on another card the other day. So let's go ahead, get off of all of our pieces and parts, and I'm going to put that back on my board that hangs on my wall. Bring in my bees. And I think I'm going to have that completely flush with the card backing and the bees and the thank you. I am going to pop up. Yes, I'm going to go pull it from the side so that it looks like it's hanging down. And let me find some dimensionals and get these guys popped up. I think they're super cute. And then we're going to put some bling on this card. I realized the last 3-ish weeks, I've not been doing bling. That's a problem. Okay, so here's the thank you. And I'm going to put the thank you over, oops, okay. Come on, camera above, help me out here. I think I'm going to put that right here. That's perfect. And then these little guys, he's flying up too. And then this little guy, he's coming down here. Perfect. Okay. So I think for my bling, I've got these confetti discs from Cartwright Sequins and Beads, and this is their metallic, coffee metallic confetti. Whoa, confetti. And get my pick and stick. I've got my Gina K matte glue. So let's see if we can put some of these on here and see what it looks like. That one's broken. Sometimes that happens. Oh, that might be bad. I don't want it coming from behind. Trying not to have them all in a line. There. Oh, that's cute. I like it. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, I am not left-handed at all. My husband is left-handed. I am not. Come on, stick, stick. Okay. There. Okay. This glue will dry clear. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, let me cover that. Cover this. I don't want to break that wax tip. And get all of this out of the way. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it while I created a card for Dina's challenge. I think this with the Trivet, I think that was a perfect execution. I was looking for the word. So thanks for joining me today. I'll have everything down below. I believe the Hey Honey may no longer be available. So I will see if there is another B-type stamp set in her stash, and I will list that down below as well. So in the meantime, until next time, happy stamping.